Hey everyone, this is the second post-production wrap-up video for our second dramatized audiobook. This is Paul, also known as Ectro, and with me is my wife and partner in this audiobook venture, Miss Holly.
Hello.
Yes. And, like last time, for anyone who's been around since the completion of our first audiobook project, which was Boogiepop and Others, I wanted to continue making post-production videos for all our projects going forward.
Yeah, it's fun to reflect on the experience a little bit, and also just, give you guys a little, not like a full behind the scenes, but a little taste.
Yes.
Of some behind the scenes.
Because similar to the last one, each one of these projects takes quite a bit of effort and hundreds of hours of time and pretty much a full year's worth of work to get it to
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, just to get it to where I want it to be. I'm a perfectionist.
Well, especially when you have to re-record the entire first
chapter
of recording.
Yeah.
Because the laptop audio wasn't correct.
Yes. That didn't go very well. It was a little bit of a mess with that whole first attempt at recording. But we got through it. It sucks that was probably the longest chapter in any of the volumes of any of the Zaregoto books.
I feel like I am an expert on the first chapter, if nothing else.
Yeah, seriously. Just giving you guys a little bit of an idea of how many times I've read this. 10 plus.
Wow.
The amount of times that when you're working on a project like this, you have to go back and reconsume it. Either you read it yourself when you're going through and storyboarding and making notes on what needs to be added or what needs to be done in any particular scenes. And then, it adds up. You have to do that along with listening to it again after you're done recording it. You have to check to make sure everything sounds right. And then you have to go through it, adding all the sound effects and the background ambiance.
So a lot.
A lot.
So a lot.
It averages about 10 times.
Dang.
It's kind of ridiculous.
And that's not including, or are you including, the times you read it for funsies before you decided to make an audiobook?
I guess so. The last time, before we worked on this project, the last time I read the book was about 4 years ago, I would say.
Okay.
So it's been a little bit of a gap before I actually started working on the project. But I knew that if I wanted to do any sort of audiobook to follow up Boogiepop, it was either going to be another Boogiepop story, or it was going to be Zaregoto. And, yeah, so basically, the whole way this whole thing went is, I started reading the Zaregoto series around the same time that I started reading the Boogiepop series. Unlike the Boogiepop series, where I know exactly who it was who convinced me to pick it up, and that being Trixie the Golden Witch, also known as Digibro, back in the day. I can't exactly remember, why I picked up the Zaregoto series. It could have been another Trixie video that, inspired me to pick it up. But it could have been a couple of different things. So I can't exactly narrow it down. All I know is that I picked up the books around the same time. I think I didn't blow through the first book. I think it took me maybe a week or so of on and off reading. But
that's still pretty fast.
Yeah, not as fast as you.
Considering, well, I mean, no. It took me a good chunk of time when you eventually finally convinced me to read the Zaregoto books, well, some of them, to actually read the first one. It took me a little bit. I'm pulling up my Goodreads app just simply to...
Why, does it keep
get
track?
The official facts here. It took me a month to read the dang thing.
Well, that was 2.
Oh, sorry. It took me about 2 weeks to read the damn thing.
All right. So, yeah. It took... I'm pretty sure I bought 1 and 2 around the same time. I might have read 1, and then I was like, okay, this is pretty good. Okay, I'm going to go get 2. And, holy crap. I was not expecting 2 to be as good as it was. Like, as I said, took me a week to get through 1. Took me a day, I think, to read through 2.
It was just one of those ones you couldn't put down.
I could not put down. It hit every single mark on my list of what I love in media. The protagonist was so relatable to me, and please don't give me that look, because you just don't get it.
Yikes.
He's just like me for real. Anyway, we're not getting too much into the second book here, because that's the next project that I'm working on. And yeah, we're not touching that too much. All I'm saying is 2 blew my mind. It's still, to this day, my favorite book of all time. And I always wanted to adapt it as an audiobook. Ever since I started this whole, audiobook making kick that I started, and I started focusing on making them. I knew at some point I wanted to adapt 2, but I wasn't going to start on 2 without doing 1, because that would be insane. Because why would I start from 2 with no one knowing who Iichan is as a character, or at least its premise?
You mean like how I accidentally started reading book number 8 in the Detective Dan Riley series?
Exactly. Why the heck would anyone do that willingly?
I didn't mean to.
I kind of view the Volume 1, the book that we just finished, to be the prologue of the series. I think it does a good job of, setting up the premise of who Iichan is as a character.
I could see that.
Iichan as a character is the whole kit and caboodle, the bread and butter, the whole point of the series. Everything is seen through his filter. Everything is, criticized and analyzed by him, and you get his full, thoughts on the world around him. And he is a fascinating character. As I said, favorite character of all time, and stop giving me that look.
I'm not giving you a look.
I can see it in your brain. I can see the gears ticking. I can see the judgment. And
I am simply waiting until the correct section to voice my opinions on Iichan.
Well, you know what? You could say whatever you like. But as long as I keep making these audiobooks, you're going to be forced to keep reading the books. And then you'll maybe understand why I love him as a character.
Maybe someday. We shall see.
You'll get it.
But anywho.
At least you'll get it by Volume 6, which could take a while.
Volume 6?
Yes.
Help me.
Yes, and going through this, starting this project to adapt. I'm pretty sure I said this in a post at some point. I'm planning on adapting the entire Zaregoto series like this. All 9 books.
Oh, there's 9?
There's 9 plus the one that came out a few years ago that everyone seems to have a problem with. I didn't read it. I don't know what to expect from it, but you know what?
Everyone has a problem with it. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem is because I am spoiler avoidant. So I'm not looking up anything about the book ahead of time.
Cool.
But working on this project did motivate me to finish reading the entire series. And, as I've stated before, earlier in this video, it is my favorite series of all time. So much so that I, honest to God, don't know whether I love 2 the most or 6 the most now. They are, connected in a very specific way. Is that my phone?
Yeah.
Oh. Hold on 1 second.
Where is it?
It's in the back. Here. So why don't you talk about something for a second?
Well, I think that the reason I ended up even picking up this book in the first place. Other than wanting to help with the audiobook project, had to do with the fact that it is a big deal to Paul. It means a lot to him. And it's like, you know, if somebody hands you their favorite thing and then is like, here, I'd like to share it with you. What are you going to go, no, and throw it on the floor? Of course I'm going to read it.
Well, you did that for years.
It took me a while to muster up the motivation to read it, because I'll be honest, this is not my cup of tea for what I usually read. And I don't...
Yet you do read thrillers and mystery books.
I do read thrillers and mystery books.
That's your thing.
This was a different type, though. It's not the same. I don't know.
The word you're looking for is nonsense.
Yeah, that's about right. I can't look at the word nonsense the same way ever again. And, you know, I have other thoughts about the quality of the stories, and
keep in mind also that this was Nisio Iichan's first book that he ever published.
Okay.
If that's what if you're judging him.
I'm not judging him. Again, this is not... I would not pick this if I were...
just left to your own devices and trying to find a book to read?
Yes, wandering the bookstore and shopping for a read. It's not something I would have picked up. However, I did recall watching the anime with you.
Right.
And I really enjoyed the anime. I don't know if the apologists out there are probably going to come at me, but I thought the anime was well done. I really liked...
No one disagrees with you.
Oh, that's good.
I just have issues with it. But the only issue I really have is the art style.
I like the art style.
Well, I know. It's a good art style, but it's also Monogatari's art style. And they should have went with Take's art style, because Take is the one who illustrated the books. And Take's art style is my favorite art style. So that is just a me problem.
I see. So it's just you personally, not the community at large.
I mean, I'm sure some of them agree with me, and I have no problem with the anime other than that. It's like what it should have been Take's art style they used, but the Monogatari art style is so universally, like, praised that I don't blame Studio Shaft for going in that direction. It's also another Nisio Iichan book, so
and
why not?
It's also fascinating because, like, I really liked this anime. I really liked how it was set up. I thought that scenes that they condensed or cut, having now read the book, I felt like it was adapted well. I also... It's funny you mentioned that the Monogatari art style, and, like, it's praised for this, so they borrowed it for Zaregoto. I did not enjoy Monogatari.
I know you did, but also you watched it at the beginning of our relationship, and you weren't, like...
I don't know.
I don't think that I expanded your horizons enough. But also, I don't like the Monogatari series as much as Zaregoto.
Okay, well...
I've said it before. I think Monogatari series is a little bit overly self-indulgent with, like, the otaku community and the characters, and they just do weird, overly strange things, and there's some sus stuff in there that you've never even, like, experienced, because we never got past the third novel. So I don't want you to look at me weird, so I'm not bringing up any of it here, but it is a sus show.
Interesting.
And I love the Zaregoto series for the reason that it is played incredibly straight. Like, it is the difference between Showa Godzilla and Heisei Godzilla. The Showa series goes off and does some crazy things, like Godzilla literally dancing after beating King Ghidorah and doing the infamous dance that made, why am I blanking on his name? The director of the original movie, like, literally, like, shame. Like, it brought shame to him, Godzilla doing the Russian dance after he beat King Ghidorah. And in the Heisei series, it is played straight, it is played serious, it is a serious drama.
And you feel like Zaregoto is
It's
done
like
that
that
way.
because it takes itself seriously.
I see.
And
well,
I love it for that.
I feel like that's my problem with it, so honestly, that might be interesting to unpack later. But why don't we talk a little bit about the structure of, the timeline and how we got the stuff done and your videos and the new, editing.
I will start on that in
strats.
1 second, but I remembered what I was talking about before the phone rang.
Okay.
All right. All I was going to say is, working on this, I wanted to do the absolute best job I could possibly do. And to do that, I needed to understand Iichan on every fundamental level of his character. So, it motivated me to read the remaining 6 books. I had only read 1 through 3, because 1 through 3 were the only 3 books that were, officially translated. And I was holding out hope that eventually they were going to do the other 6, and that is never going to happen. So, to make sure that I was getting Iichan's character completely right, I read through the volumes 4 through 9 in preparation for this project, just to make sure I understood him. Because I wanted to get the voice right, I wanted to get the motivations right, I wanted to understand what he was doing, why he was thinking the way he was, so I could read his lines to the best of my ability.
He basically did the audiobook equivalent of method acting.
Yeah, while I was reading through all the books, I probably read at least 25% of each book out loud, just so that I could work on his voice.
It's true, sometimes I'm in the other room and I hear him saying bizarre things, and I know he's by himself, and I'm like, is he on the phone, or is he reading, or
am I playing Night Rain with Steven?
Yeah.
Am I going insane?
It could be any of the above. Is he talking to the cat? Who knows?
No, I was practicing reading future volumes in advance. I even recorded 25% of volume 5, just so that I can review it later.
That's fascinating.
Yes, but I wanted to make sure I got him right, and I think I did a good job, just based on who Iichan is as a character and knowing the events that are going to happen up until Volume 9. Which, by the way, that ending made me cry. It was...
Spoiler, Paul.
I'm just saying, it hit me hard. Which cemented its place as my favorite series of all time, which motivated me to want to do this. So, over the next probably 8 years, expect annual Zaregoto audiobooks. Assuming nothing happens in our lives that forces us to slow down or stop. And hopefully that is not the case, because I really want to do this.
Cool.
Anywho,
speaking of doing this, how did you do it, Paul?
Alright, so, as everyone probably knows, maybe, who knows, I started working on the Boogiepop series first, and I just jumped straight in. I didn't have any idea what I was doing, basically. I just recorded some audio, and then I posted the video. So, and for anyone who watched our first video, I started talking with Ghost Reader, who is another audiobook maker. I asked his opinion on some of my videos, and he suggested that I learn how to use Audacity, which I did. By the end of the Boogiepop audiobook, I think I understood the program well enough that when I started off with the Zaregoto Volume 1, that I knew how to properly clean up the audio well enough that I think that it sounded excellent all the way through. Because in the first couple of Boogiepop volumes, it did not sound great. But I think my audio sounded great throughout this entire project. And along with perfecting my skills at using your mom's ringtone is so obnoxious.
I don't know if it even caught on the mic, but if it did, that is Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne, brought to you posthumously, because he has passed away at the time of this recording. And it's still going.
I don't know. I'm going to just choose to ignore that. So, I further developed a couple of skills during my creation of this audiobook, but I knocked out most of it with Audacity. The things that I really did this time around that were different was I started using the program to better time and like space out the text, like the written voice line. I mean, the spoken voice lines, so that it flowed well. I also went through meticulously to get rid of any like clicks and extra sounds that weren't supposed to be there. Let's see. I also had to develop my organizational skills, like my time organizational skills, like a whole lot better. I figured like a system of doing all of one task and then doing all of another task and then doing all of another task. So what we did was we recorded, like we didn't get to do this like perfectly this time, but we tried to record as much as we could before I started like doing the actual editing. It's what I wanted to do. It didn't turn out that way, but yeah, the idea was do all of one task and then move on to the next task.
Right, in phases.
In phases, which just helped because instead of like shifting in and out of different tasks, which takes a little bit of time to like readjust to each one of them, I could just focus completely on one task until the job was entirely done. And then the only other big difference I did between Boogiepop and Zaregoto was storyboarding, which is something that I really, really got into.
And it was useful, because if I remember correctly, there were so many times, and I'm sorry, I'm going to criticize you a smidge, but there were so many times in the Boogiepop recordings where, like, after the fact, like, as we were reading it, it would be like, blah, 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 she said angrily, and I'd go, oh, now I gotta do it again, because it was angry. But with the storyboarding, you've gone through and you've done, like, essentially made it almost like a play, like with stage directions and highlights and other emoting details, so that we can just do it all at once as we go through the script, rather than having to stop and have it be choppy. It flows a lot better. So
and re-record things later, because I felt so bad when we were doing Boogiepop, how many times I had to pull you back to to do that.
So many sighs. I spent an inordinate amount of time recording different sighs
in while I was working on projects.
Yeah.
But by storyboarding, I was able to figure out everything I needed ahead of time. And that saved so much time. And I also, while I went through it, I mapped out all the sound effects and all the background ambiance and marked out where headspace, portions started and stopped. I mapped out everything ahead of time. And it just paid off in dividends, because when I was actually doing the editing over the summer, it took like half the time to do everything. I was able to just flow. And it took me it'd take me a month and a half to actually do the editing for the audiobook, or maybe I
don't remember, but at one point you were like, I did another episode today. And I was like, what do you mean? This is too much,
yeah.
Crazy how much work you were getting done at one point.
Yeah, just doing all that stuff ahead of time when I had downtime at work, in between classes when I didn't have anything else to do, it saved so much time this time around. And I think the project just flows better, sounds better, and it was less of a pain in the butt for you.
Agreed. So,
yeah, a lot of organizational skills and a lot of different tricks that we figured out this time around. And, also the formatting on the videos has increased exponentially, in my opinion. Boogiepop had illustrations for scenes, which were good, but other than that, the only other thing that I had on the screen during the Boogiepop videos were just, the images of the characters themselves. This time around, I thought about it ahead of time, and I was like, I want to do something fancy. So I chopped up using Photopia, which is just a Photopia,
it's
Photopia.
Free Photoshop.
It's free Photoshop. I chopped up the illustrations for the book itself, and I created a screen, like that checker screen that has like all of the character like icons.
You made a stage.
I made a stage basically, like a mini stage, and there were really no illustrations for this book, so that's why I wanted to come up with something like to kind of like take that place.
Yeah, you needed I can't think of the word.
Some sort of visual element.
Yeah.
And the only other thing was like the very beginning of each video where it just like has the beginning illustration. That is the only illustrations in the book. There's no scenes like modern day light novels. This one came out in 2002. So it was like towards the beginning of light novels when they were becoming the light novels that we know of. So, yeah, I created my own little stage, basically. Which is also, like, how would I put it? I'm working on sort of an update to that right now with the entire audiobook for the purposes of the compilation video. If you guys remember correctly, for Boogiepop, I released afterwards, like, a full compiled version of all the audiobook pieces. It came out to like 5 hours and something and change. I'm doing the same exact thing for Zaregoto, except I am actually doing something really cool for it. And it is going to be a far better product overall. So basically, if you remember correctly, when I made the trailer, I like created all those illustrations. I only thought about this like a day, like couple of hours after I started airing episode 1. But I was like, why did I not include those illustrations, those images that I created for the trailer? And I was like, you are such a dum-dum, Paul. So, over the last couple of weeks, I have been working on, like, not remastering, but upgrading the entire audiobook, which will be something that is available to you when it is released. That includes illustration, like the images that I created for both the trailer and additional images I created.
When does this update come out?
It's probably going to come out towards the end of November and the beginning of December.
And the compilation comes out after this, or?
Well, this is the compilation. Wait, what was your first question?
The compilation of the audiobook that you're upgrading with the new scenes?
Yeah.
When does that come out? After this?
Like, yes, after this.
Okay.
It's probably going to come out in about a month.
Just making sure. I was curious about the timeline.
Yeah.
Because it would be weird if we were talking about a thing you could have when in fact they already have it, and it would be like we're time travelers.
I mean, only if they're watching this way in the future.
Ooh. Anyway.
But yeah, I am upgrading the entire audiobook to include illustrations, and anyone who reads visual novels will know what I'm talking about when I say they are the equivalent of CGs. Computer graphics. I think that's what the acronym stands for. But I'm adding CGs throughout the entire audiobook. It is tedious to do this, but I should have done it the first time, but I just didn't think about it until it started airing. But that is going to be a baseline feature in the second volume and all the volumes going forward. So expect that. It'll be it's pretty cool. I asked a couple of people in the Spectread Studio Discord, like, what they think of it, and a couple of people like it. I think that it adds a lot of extra... Dimension, because you can actually, like, see the characters in the scenes.
Yeah, that is cool. I'm excited to see, like, I've seen clips... Spoiler alert.
Yes, I'm about halfway done with it right now.
I am excited to see, like, a fully done scene or two, just so I can get,
I think I've almost completed I'm about to complete Chapter 5.
Woohoo!
So I have 3 more chapters to go in the epilogue, and then it's pretty much set. But I'm taking my time. I'm going to go through it one more time.
Oh, good.
It's a work in progress right now, so things that I'm figuring out towards the end, I'm going to go back and, like, upgrade the beginning things, because this whole project is just, like, one big test for me to, like, really narrow down Iichan's voice, figure out the style, like, figure out what I'm doing for Volume 2, because I'm working so hard to make Volume 2 the best possible product that I can be.
Yeah, we have exciting plans for Volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know if you want to get into now or if you want to save it for later.
Do you have any particular parts you're thinking of?
I'm just talking about how... one of the notes that it's important for us to hit on is that we did a lot of voice acting.
That part.
For this audiobook. Paul did a majority of the scenes because Iichan is the narrator, right? So he's in all of the things and is constantly yapping, to be
Constantly
fair.
Yapping and thinking.
And I had a similar but different problem where I was all the female characters and, like, all of the geniuses were female, and I had to do 10.
You did 10 different voices.
Oh, Lord.
I did 2 in regards to like what my responsibilities were, but I still did more because Iichan won't shut up. He did I think 75% of the book is just him thinking and talking.
Yeah, his inner monologue is intense. But despite, my best efforts, I feel as though some of my voice acting got a little muddy with certain characters. Like, I'm not confident about Maki versus like, oh my god, with the maids. They're all interchangeable in my brain.
Except Teriko.
Teriko was fun to do. I liked doing her voice.
But Akari and Hikari were like...
They were pretty interchangeable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I am excited for Volume 2 because through the Spectread Studios community and other, book fans that we have in our circles, we are very lucky that we have a larger voice cast for Volume 2.
Yes. Let's see. We have you, me, Chris, Andrew, Antoinette, and Ghost. Was that 6?
I wasn't counting.
6 or 7. We got like 6 or 7 different people.
6 or 7?
Yeah.
6, 7?
No! Stop it!
I'm sorry, I'm corrupted by the youth. Anywho.
That's what we get for working in schools.
Oh, no. Sorry. Derailed the entire production.
Yeah, but we have far more voice actors this time around. So we're going to be able to really do a good job of differentiating between different characters.
Yeah, there will be a lot more distinctions, and honestly, it will be really good for my brain, I think, to not have to juggle 10 characters.
This time you'll only have to juggle 3.
I think that's reasonable.
Well, 4, but one of them's not in there very much.
Great.
The one towards the end.
Great.
Who isn't June this time.
You just don't... You're spoilers.
Either way, you only have like 3 or 4 characters, and they're all pretty distinct, so I don't think it's going to be very hard for you to voice them.
Yay.
But yeah. Only other things involving voice acting was we did a much better job with pronunciations.
Oh, that's ironic, isn't it?
Shut up!
I love you.
I don't know about that. But I checked with people ahead of time to figure out, to make sure I was pronouncing names correctly. I'm going to have a much harder time during Volume 2 because there's a lot of places in Japanese that I'm going to have to ask Moro and Genma, like, to make sure that I'm like pronouncing these places correctly. But they got my back. They'll let me know how to pronounce them.
That's good.
Yeah. And in terms of like in figuring out our inspirations for the voices themselves, I literally just like on and off read for Iichan for like 9 volumes. So I think I got his voice down just that way. And Shinya, I don't know exactly what I was thinking when I came up with Shinya. I think I was channeling a little bit of Roswell from ReZero.
I could see that, or rather hear that, I guess, is more accurate.
But what about your characters? Did you go through, did you have any thoughts when you were, voicing them?
Okay, so, based on... I don't know how to explain it, but I heard their voices when I was reading.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
That makes things so easier.
I have that inner monologue thing. I know not everybody does. I know you don't. That's why reading out loud is better for you.
Right.
So, I could hear them when I was reading myself, and I tried my best to mimic those voices, if that makes sense. So,
yes, absolutely.
So, oh my god, this is embarrassing. What's the main Iichan's best friend's name?
Are you talking about Tomo?
Oh my god, it was right at the tip of my tongue. I couldn't for the life of me bring it out of my face. Anyway, Tomo was in my head as, traditional cute anime girl vibes.
I mean, she is.
And that's, pretty accurate. And when I was reading for Maki, it was, Ice Queen...
Bitch?
Kinda.
Yeah.
And my favorite voice to do was Akane.
You did a really good job with her voice.
Akane. And I feel like her... I truly feel like I channeled her the best.
I think you did an excellent job with her.
Thank you.
Your entire, discussion at the end of Chapter 4 was incredible. And I think you did an amazing job with her.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is fun. You know why? Because I don't have to worry about spoilers now. We can actually talk about, the stuff that happened in the book.
That's true. We can.
I was able to, talk more about Boogiepop stuff. I feel like it was still a mystery, but you kind of knew what was going on, because you got,
Well, it was the non-linear narrative, right? So you got pieces of the story.
And you could talk about those pieces. But I couldn't talk about, future things in Zaregoto. It would have been much harder to do something like that.
It's a chronological story.
So I needed to keep my mouth shut so that I didn't, spoil anything. But, yeah, this is fun now that I get to actually talk about the plot a little bit. You did a great job with Akane.
Thank you.
Are there any other characters you would say that you were pretty proud who they came out with? Because I think you did a good job with Teriko, too.
I liked Teriko. I liked Akane, and I am proud of Tomo, but those three, I'm, solid. Everybody else, I'm not confident about June. A spoiler alert, she's one of the ones who we recast for for Volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, I will not be reprising my role.
And I think that
June
Antoinette's
Aikawa.
going to do an excellent job with her.
I agree.
Not that I'm saying you sucked.
No.
But you channeled your Nagi voice into that, and I think you did the best you could. But
Thank
you're not a scary person, honey.
No, I'm not.
Antoinette could be a scary person, though.
She can be.
Yeah, and I think that she'll do a good job with the role.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But, yeah, I feel like that's pretty much it. I was proud of that. I really enjoyed the scene where Akane is in prison and they're having this existential conversation.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
That's what you were talking about. That's chapter 4?
The end of chapter 4.
Okay. That's my favorite one, I think.
That's one of my favorite parts of the book in general.
And I love just Teriko being you should just die. It's so unhinged.
That whole conversation where she's literally just attacking him as a person.
Yeah. Actually, that was my favorite, probably because I can't stand Iichan. That's why. It's all coming together.
Yeah. Well, for any Iichan haters, that's definitely a part that I feel like you would gravitate towards.
Can we talk about Iichan for a minute? Can we come back to
Sure, go ahead.
Audio?
Let's make it flow. Go ahead.
For a minute, and because Paul's mentioned this before. Iichan's his favorite character in literature. Not just in Zaregoto, in literature at large.
And media. All the media.
It's just making it worse. And I find that, what's the word? Insane. Because I do not like this man. He is so insufferable to me. I can't even believe he is a worse version of Nick Carraway from The Great Gatsby. Because Nick, if you've read The Great Gatsby, he is like a silent observer to most of the, dare I say, nonsense that happens in the novel, but doesn't act on much of anything and is a very passive individual. Well, I will give Iichan a little bit of credit. He does do some things, but for the most part, he's still, like, even though he figures a lot of things out and he has general smarts and knowledge, and he's right up there with Tomo in terms of the, like, genius persona, he just is like, yeah, but it doesn't affect me, so who gives a you know? And it's so aggravating, and I know there's more to him, and I know there's layers, and I know there's other volumes, but based on Volume 1, Iichan, I want to throw him out the window.
And also, you have read Volume 2.
Yes, but we're talking about Volume 1.
I'm just saying, he
doesn't get better in Volume 2. He gets worse, actually. But that's my opinion. And
yeah, which is wrong, because
opinion.
He becomes better in Volume 2.
He becomes more interesting in Volume 2.
And better.
He is not better. He is still insufferable, and he makes me want to throw him out the window, but he's more developed and more interesting.
Well, I'm going to absolutely agree. He's a far more developed character in Volume 2. And better. My personal thing with Iichan is I relate to him.
Which alarms me, because I see nothing about...
Because you didn't know me when I was 19 and emo.
Oh, okay.
I was a mess. I hated the world. I hated myself. I hated people who I perceived were better than me. I hated myself. I absolutely could not stand myself. Oh. And it took me years to get over that. So that is why, like, on a lot of levels, I gravitate towards him. Like, I understand him. I understand him on, like, a intellectual and emotional level, because I understand how it feels to go through your life knowing that you're never going to be good enough compared to the other people that surround you in your life. And that you'll never be able to compare to the geniuses of the world. So I understand him from that point of view. And that's why I see. He affects me on the way he does. It's the same way that I feel about Kaneda from The Pet Girl of Sakurasou. That's why he spoke to me so much as a character. And I hope that I hope I didn't get his name wrong. The main character of The Pet Girl of Sakurasou. He's a character who deals with a lot of the same issues, sort of, that Iichan goes through. The difference being that Zaregoto hit me on a more intellectual level, with Iichan, like, exploring the idea of a genius itself by, like, you have a thought? I
feel like... Well, finish your sentence and then I'll...
All I'm saying is, Zaregoto was a much more intellectual book. Like, compared to The Pet Girl of Sakurasou, it hit me on an intellectual level. It gave a lot of good, like, things to chew on about the idea of being a genius on an intellectual level and exploring the ideas around what makes a genius. And this was, like, worked through with Iichan's inner monologue and his interactions with the geniuses on the island themselves. And The Pet Girl of Sakurasou hit me on a more emotional level, because just seeing him, and I think her name was Nanami, and how being surrounded, like, having people around them who love what they do, who were amazing at what they do, and were confident in what they do, but they did not know what they wanted to do, and they or they just felt like that they couldn't compare to the other people who knew who were doing exactly what they wanted to do and doing an amazing job. That affected me on a very emotional level. So much so I cried 3 times before the end of that anime.
Wow.
But yeah.
So what I was gonna say before, I feel like a big part of the reason that you really enjoy the Zaregoto series and that I tolerate the Zaregoto series, I don't hate it, everyone. I want to make that explicitly clear. It is a well-written series. It's just not my, pleasure reading material. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But I feel like it is interesting for you because it is very much a philosophical study on the concept of, what makes a genius, and I feel like this one, Volume 1 in particular, and I feel like, I don't know the gist of all the future volumes, but between 1 and a little bit in 2, we get a lot of, what makes a human as well.
Ooh.
And
I like that.
And I think that there's a lot of philosophy undertones.
Which is something that I really love in literature.
Exactly.
And media in general.
So that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's why you like it so much.
And also, I think it was partially a way to look at myself. I don't know if that makes any sense. I found myself thinking, particularly in Volume 2, reading the story and thinking, I've had thoughts like this before. There, some of them were one-to-one with some of the thoughts I had when I was younger, and about coping mechanisms that I used to just get through things.
Interesting.
And just the way that it was written, it just hit me on such an emotional and intellectual level that I couldn't help but be sucked so hard into the series. But yeah, we'll talk about that more when we get into Volume 2, unless there's something else you wanted to bring up about this whole discussion.
No, I just feel like that was my connection of, it is a study on humanity and the different facets of humanity, and I imagine each volume focuses on different aspects, and in Volume 1 it's what makes a genius. What is genius something you are, or a way you behave, or in your core, or are you a genius compared to those around you? And then the concept of genius is so interesting in the first volume because, you hear I'm going to say genius again. It's a lot of times me saying it.
Make a drinking game out of it, people.
But you hear the word, and I feel like a specific image comes to most people's brains of scientist, doctor, somebody with a high intellect in a specific field. But we also get a genius chef and a fortune teller and other people who are excellent in their specific field. And I just find that fascinating. I really do think that's the most interesting concept within Zaregoto's Volume 1 is this idea that genius can be a lot of different things.
And then also, you have to think about it, and this is an element in the pet girl of Sakurasou also. Sometimes there's a trade-off, in the sense that we have Tomo. She is absolutely the best at what she does. No one can compare to her. But also, she's a savant. Mm-hmm. She can't do much of anything else. She is completely 100% in her element, and when she's out of that element, she doesn't really she can't really interact with people in normal ways. She has a whole lot of mental how did they word it, her vertical thing,
neuroses.
Yeah, she has neuroses, and it's the same way for the artist in the pet Sakurasou. She's her name was on the tip of my tongue for a second. She is absolutely incredibly talented, but also she cannot take care of herself for anything. And that's a part of being a genius that I use to cope a lot, that when you are a genius in your field to that degree, you can't get to that point without giving up something. And that's literally something I used to cope with myself, like, a lot in the old days. Like, okay, I could be this genius artist, but also I would probably be taken care of by my parents for the rest of my life because it would come with a cost. So I think that anyone who can have a proper balance between, like, talent and the ability to function as a normal human being are really the lucky ones.
Right. Okay. Fair.
Mm-hmm.
But, anywho, do we want to talk about some story points before we move on? Or are we done with story points?
I'm just looking through our little list here, but I think we got basically...
I think we covered a lot of it.
Yeah. Let's see. Favorite characters, we did all that. Do we want to just go over our favorite chapters real quick? Because it's quick. I was going to say chapter 6. I think that there were a lot of good moments in there, like Terako tearing Iichan a new one when she, like, pushed him into the one room and just, like, verbally mauled him. And it's like, only a bullshitter knows how to deal with a bullshitter as well as the bullshitter. You know what I'm saying?
So true.
And she, like, completely knocked him on his butt. And I'm just really, that scene, as a person who read future volumes, just really interests me. Because I see a lot of stuff there that was like, That's gonna make sense later. Not really that makes sense later, but I just understand Iichan as a person, and I understand what he was probably doing in that scene.
Okay.
I can't wait till you get to some later volumes so I can talk to you about some of this. But I enjoyed that, and I also just loved the part where Maki, she, right after that interaction with Terako, just, like, bawling her eyes out and lungs out laughing at him. That was great, honey. You did such a good job with that scene.
That laugh was genuine. I had to watch a clip from an episode of The Simpsons. I wrote the episode title down somewhere in my notes, and I'll get to it at another time. But it is the episode where... Oh, I think it's called Homer the Heathen.
Homer the Heathen?
Yeah, because Homer starts his own, like, religion.
Yeah.
And because he doesn't want to go to church on Sunday, and he is, like, relaxing at home, and he lights a candle, and he falls asleep, and of course, the dog knocks it over and sets the whole house on fire, and Homer is passed out asleep. And Flanders comes over and, like, goes in to drag Homer out of the fire. And the physics make no sense. So the front door gets blocked. He has to pull him up the stairs and try to throw him out the window. So Flanders throws the mattress. I'm gonna crack up now. The mattress out the window so Homer can land on it. And he throws Homer out the window. And Homer bounces off the mattress and back into the front window into the house while it's on fire. And he's just, because he's still asleep somehow through all of this, and it's just the sound he makes while he's falling, and I can't, it's just like, and he hops back into the house, and Flanders is just looking out the window, and it's just a mess, and it's not that funny, but oh my god, it's the funniest scene of television I've ever watched for no apparent reason. It's so stupid, but it tickles me on a deep level.
I was editing, and I look over, and I'm like, what the hell is going on?
I was cackling.
She was busting buttons, man. She was laughing so hard.
My stomach hurt, and I was crying, and Paul's like, "What happened to you?" And I'm like, "Homer jumped out the window," and he didn't even jump out the window.
And we were like a day or two away from like recording that scene. So when that scene came up, I was like, "What could we do?" Like, I was thinking method acting methods to get her to laugh like that, and I was like, "Hey, I have an idea." So we put she put her earbuds in, and right before she started that scene, we played the video, and she laughed her brains out.
Oh my god, it's still so funny. It's not even that funny of an episode, but just that, oh my god.
And she, like, and it's just great, because literally, like, she laughed her brains out, and I had her read the rest of the lines, like, right after she laughed her brains out.
And it worked.
And it worked really well.
I almost couldn't get through my lines because I was laughing so much. But I did it, and I was proud of me. Something we didn't laugh at was when you tried very hard to say in your lines ambiguously.
Oh, no. No, you're giving me flashbacks, man.
I felt really bad because when things are awkward and, like, I think flubs are probably one of the funniest forms of comedy. And Paul kept trying to say ambiguously, but he couldn't get it out right. He kept going ambiguous, and I am trying not to laugh now because he's getting mad.
And I'm trying to not punch a wall.
And I'm over here going, I couldn't, and he's like getting upset. I'm like, don't get upset. It's just, ambiguously. And I don't even remember how many takes we had.
Ambiguously.
Now you're good. See? You've got it.
Yeah. I learned how to say that word for this audiobook. I literally think that it was like 30 attempts.
It was a lot. I felt really bad. And he was getting more and more frustrated, and I'm over here just vibing.
I hated that. That was terrible. Oh, boy. The PTSD flashbacks are starting.
I'm sorry.
Anywho, what about you? What's your favorite part in, like, our whole chapters?
I mean, I love June. I think June is phenomenal. I love that when she's revealed, like, I had an inkling that she was female because, like, every other genius was, and nobody ever, other than Iichan, mentioned June's gender at any point. And, Iichan was just doing the assumption thing.
Yeah.
But I love that she comes out of the gate just for no apparent reason, kicks Iichan's ass, abducts him, and then tells him all your theories that you thought you had were wrong. It's so funny. It's so good. But also, it's one of my favorite parts, but it's simultaneously the most aggravating part as a reader, because you're like, what the hell? I thought I had the mystery figured out. Now you're telling me the mystery has another mystery inside a mystery?
This goes into the next part. A perfect segue. When did you think you had the mystery figured out?
I never did.
No. I mean, like, let's say we're talking about the first layer. That Akane, doppelganger Akane, who was actually Kanami, was, like, going around murdering people. When?
I didn't.
You didn't figure that out?
I didn't know for sure, but I had a feeling, so I don't remember why. I had a feeling that Akane wasn't dead.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like when her body showed up in the locked room, which wasn't her body, which actually was her body because Akane isn't Akane. But anyway.
Yeah.
That's a whole
That's a whole lot of nonsense.
That's a whole lot of nonsense.
Whole lot of Zaregoto.
I forget where I was going with this. Oh, I had an inkling that she wasn't dead because I remembered something from, actually, Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, and other, there's been other, I watch a lot of crime shows, right? I watch a ton of Law & Order SVU. I watch Criminal Minds.
You watched all of Law & Order SVU.
Yes, that's correct.
572 episodes last time I checked.
Actually, I'm not caught up with season 27, which is the most current season.
Oh, shiver me timbers.
I know.
I've gotten through 500 plus episodes and 26 seasons.
I've watched 26 seasons of Law & Order SVU, so I know what I'm talking about when I say a lot of times, actually, SVU doesn't really have decapitations very much, more so Criminal Minds does, but usually when a head is taken from a body, it's to delay identification, and if you already know who it is, there's really no reason to take the head, unless
you're eating that.
Well, that could be, actually. But unless there's some other motive to it. And I'm like, if, it's just a body with no head, and they don't have any kind of police forensics, materials to get anything done and tell if that's
Paging Dr. Blackjack. That was a line that Tomo did. I looked it up later. I think that's a manga character who's known for being a really good crime scene doctor. I could be wrong.
We needed Columbo.
Columbo would have figured all this out so quickly. But you said when heads are missing, it's usually to delay identification.
Yeah, and so because I watch a lot of crime stuff, I just was like, that's interesting. Why would you take the head? So, yeah. So you were on the right track with that. I was I had an inkling, but I didn't have anything concrete. And I will admit that.
You were at least partially right.
Sorta.
That was the motive. When I was reading this, I don't think I figured out much of anything. I kind of was just reading it. I was not reading it for the mystery. I was reading it for the characters. I didn't really care that much of what the mystery was. I was just kind of vibing throughout the entire read. Just because I found the setting and the characters interesting. The mystery was secondary to me.
See, the mystery to me is my favorite part of, a mystery story.
Yeah.
But... and I like to be able to figure things out. I'm gonna be honest, there's no way with the information we are given to figure out the true mystery, right? The Jun Aikawa reveal at the end. There's no way. It's not possible. The clues are not there. Other than the fact that, Iria and Ray switched makes you think, okay, maybe other people switched. I guess that's the foreshadowing, but it's very loose. It's not, clear.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this reminds me that my students were so mad at me earlier because in creative writing, we read an Edgar Allan Poe story, and spoiler alert if you haven't read it because it's old, it's from the 1800s, so sorry, it's been a while. Murders in the Rue Morgue, which is a locked room mystery where these two women are brutally murdered, and it's how did this happen? How did the perpetrator get in? One of the women is decapitated, one of the women was strangled and shoved up the chimney, and nobody came in or out, and it's how did this happen? Well, as it turns out, there was an escaped orangutan in town, and he had a knife, and he came in the window, and he shimmied up the flagpole, and he cut the one lady's head off, he threw her out the window, and then he strangled the other lady and threw her in the chimney, and then he ran away.
So it's nonsense.
It's nonsense. It's a big monkey with a knife, and that's kind of the vibe that I get from this story, too. If you had told me the perpetrator was a big monkey with a knife, it would make more sense, to be honest.
Fair enough. I never read that before, but that is some serious nonsense.
Oh, it's such nonsense. And Auguste Dupin, who was the inspiration for Sherlock Holmes, actually, is very Jun Aikawa in the way he explains things. He's surely the owner of the orangutan must be a sailor, because only a sailor could have access to such wild creature. And so I've put an ad in the paper for a sailor who lost his orangutan to come meet me at this address, even though I don't have the monkey. And then the sailor walks in and is like, "Hi, I'm a sailor, and I'm looking for my monkey." And it's
what the heck?
It's so ridiculous. It's it's absurd. It's absurd.
It's nonsense.
Yes. And
Yes.
speaking of nonsense.
So, what are your thoughts on the ending? Should I count down and we just say it at the same time?
The ending of Volume 1?
Yes. Here we go. I'm going to count down, and then we're going to say it at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Your thoughts on on the ending, all right?
Okay, I think I got this.
1, 2, 3.
Nonsense.
Okay, yes, we're on the same page.
All right, I thought that's where you were going, but I was nervous.
The ending was complete and utter nonsense.
Yep.
Yes. Layer 1 was figure outable. Layer 2, no. Absolutely not. No one was figuring that out, and if they say they figured it out, they're lying.
Yeah, I think I would have to disagree. That it's just not possible. It's not possible.
Now, my last question to you: are there any mysteries that you're still interested about with? If not this story, the series.
How the hell did Akane, who wasn't Akane, use Kanami, who wasn't Kanami's body as a footstool to climb out the window? That's insane.
It was rigor mortis.
I don't know if rigor mortis would be that severe.
If they stood her up, they put her against the wall, and in full-blown... You've never poked a dead body. You don't know how tough they get.
I guess that's true.
You're not like me. You haven't gotten into... no, never mind.
Don't be saying that
in
recording.
No, I've never poked any freshly dead bodies. I can't say that I know, rigor mortis would make someone literally into a footstool. But, yeah, apparently that's the reason.
Yeah, I understand in terms of the logic behind it, but also, and hey, if they're gonna play a drinking game, they should use this word. That's nonsense!
They would be dead by now.
Hopefully not.
And now, this is just one last thing that I want to ask. Do you have any other interests into things in the future? I'm not going to answer any of them.
What do you mean?
Just anything that you're interested about, characters that you didn't find out or anything?
Well, I still don't know anything about Iichan and Tomo and their, mysterious past, other than they were, sort of a thing 5 years ago, and I don't know where they were, that they both have crime, investigative experience, because they both didn't bat an eyelash at a decapitated corpse in a sea of paint, and they were like, it's a Tuesday.
Yeah, basically. What was that line? It's been a while since I've seen a decapitated corpse.
Yeah, it's just casually drops that, and it's never addressed again, and I hope it's addressed in a future volume, because honestly, that's an insane, nonsensical statement to just be it's been a long time since I've seen a corpse. Well, anyway, and then carry on.
Yeah. I love that line.
It frustrates me on a deep level, that line. But that's my only real gripe, I guess.
Yeah. Love this series. Anything else that you're interested in knowing about in the future?
Not right now.
All right. More as we go. I guess we can just segue now into the giveaway. This is something I talked about a while back in... I don't know what month it was. But, sadly, this audiobook has not gotten near as much engagement as Boogiepop did, which is really strange. I was talking to Genma about this the other day, or Keem, as you guys in the Zaregoto Discord know him. And it was surprising to us because Zaregoto is generally a more popular series than Boogiepop. So I was kind of expecting there to be more engagement in general with people, but I was getting 4 or 5 comments per video with the Boogiepop series. Moro went ham. He was I probably got 100 comments from him before the end of the series, or at least
dang.
50. Me and him were going back and forth, but I got barely nothing from this series, and it's a little shocking to me. It could be because, like, I don't know, there was an audiobook by No Games made beforehand, and his was good. It was just different than mine. And I, again, wanted to make this audiobook as training, so I can do a good job on 2. And the anime's been out for a long time, and it's a good anime adaptation, and people have probably read the book a lot. So I'm thinking that that's the reason why I didn't get as much engagement with this particular project. It's a bummer, but what can you really do? I'm in this for the project itself. I like making these audiobooks, so I'm going to keep going. And I'm hoping that Volume 2 just does better. But I didn't really get much engagement with this, which made it really difficult for me to figure out, like, who to make the winner for this giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
So
However,
I went through all the couple of comments I've gotten, and NeoCal is, like, one of the only people that I, like, saw on I think a couple of different videos, and he comments on a good amount of my posts that I make. So, yeah, I'm going to say NeoCal is the winner of this giveaway.
Yay, NeoCal!
Yes, I'm going to get in contact with you through one of our comments, and for winning this giveaway, I am going to give you a invite to the Spectread Studio Discord.
Ooh.
Yes, so you're going to be on one of our, I guess, you're going to be on the fan status with a couple of other people we have in the fan status. And for anyone who, I don't really think I explained what the Spectread Studio... No, I did, sort of, in a couple of posts. But the Spectread Studio Discord is a Discord that I made for fellow audiobook makers and, like, voice actors and people who want to work on audiobooks. Me and Ghost Reader use it currently, and we, like, use it to, like, communicate between us for, like, projects we are collaborating on. And by getting into the Spectread Studio Discord, you have access to our files. So you have access to the scripts that I make. You have access to, like, images that I've created. You have access to the progress spreadsheets, so you can see where I'm at any time you want. I have PDFs of the books on there. I have, like, little writing things that I have, like script stuff. There is a ton of information on the Spectread Studio Discord, and you can also look at some of the stuff that Ghost Reader works on. He adapts ReZero audiobooks, and we're working together on different projects also. I'm voicing Betelgeuse Romani Conti currently in his ReZero audiobook, and I'm having a blast with that. But yeah, I will get in contact with you, NeoCal, and you will gain a permanent invite to the Spectread Studio Discord.
You can lurk on all of our conversations.
Yes, and you could also probably get into some of our Night Rain games, and if you're interested in that sort of thing. We like Soulsborne games in there. But yes, congratulations to NeoCal. I will get in contact with you. So, we kind of went into this when I was describing what Spectread Studios is. But plans for the future. And again, we've been probably going over this the entire time in, like, little bits and pieces. But for our plans now that this project is completed, other than the compilation video that I'm working on currently, we are currently working on Zaregoto Volume 2. I am in the middle of storyboarding the entire thing. I just finished Chapter 4, Part 1, and I'm working on Chapter 4, Part 2 currently for Volume 2, which puts me close to about halfway through storyboarding the entire thing. I'm hoping to complete the storyboarding somewhere around the end of November to, like, halfway through December. That's my best guess. I'm also working, as I said, with Ghost Reader on adapting ReZero Volume 8. I am voicing Betelgeuse Romani Conti. I'm having a lot of fun with that. He still would like...
He's very unhinged.
Yes. I scare the people in the house.
Yep. I have to warn others that Paul's going to be recording and his character is nuts, so...
Yes. And Ghost would still like if you took a shot at voicing some of the female Betelgeeses.
Interesting.
Yes, you should give that a shot, because I think it would be really cool.
Maybe someday.
Well, he's working on it now, so... yeah, well, I'll talk to him about that. You should just give it a shot. At least try and read some of the lines. We are also going to be working on ReZero EX2, which is a short story that takes place, like, in the past, about, like, I guess the meeting and the love story between Wilhelm and Theresia. And Ghost wants me to voice younger Wilhelm because he's pretty apathetic and indifferent to the things going on around him, which, I'm pretty good at that.
True.
And he, as said before, he wants you to voice Theresia.
Cool.
Yeah, so that would be pretty neat. We're also collaborating on a couple of other projects once my friend Steven is not, going through some stuff right now. I'm not going to name what we're working on, but it's just a small project that we're going to combine our skills at creating, a really nice short story audiobook. It shouldn't be longer than 30 minutes, but we just need all the pieces to fall into place for that. Yeah, we went over, when to expect it. Storyboarding should probably be done by end of November, halfway through December. And then once the storyboarding is done, I will begin working on recording the voices, the voice lines with my crew. Excuse me. Me and Ghost are figuring out, methods to record together, but not be in the same room. Because he is in the central United States, so... We developed a method where we can talk to each other through Discord, headphones, and then record at the same time, and then we could just pass off the recordings to whoever needs to get them, and then overlay the audio. And it works. So yeah, once we get the voice recordings done, I'm going to start working on the audiobook trailer for Volume 2. I got the song picked out. I know most of the lines that I want to go with. And I have a general basic idea of what I want to do in the audiobook trailer. So then, yeah, once I'm done with that, I'll just have to edit the audio. And then once that is finished, I'll begin video editing. And I'm not necessarily sure when this project is going to be done, but I'm hoping that it'll be start airing at the beginning of summer vacation, which is what we've been doing up until this point.
Yeah. That seems to be the general timeline. Yeah,
so expect it sometime during the beginning of summer. So, towards the end of June, I guess, or halfway through June. And as another small side note, I eventually do want to go back to the Boogiepop series.
Oh, cool.
It would be really nice, especially with, using some of the methods that we came up with for this project.
Yes.
I would want to create a stage, so to speak, like I did for the checker patterns with all the character icons for Boogiepop. And then I would, of course, use the illustrations that the book has.
Are the other Boogiepop iterations also told in a non-linear narrative?
Yes.
Ah, sweet.
Yes.
That was my favorite part of reading that. It was very interesting.
It jumps around. It's not... I think that it does it more in the first volume, but it does it a little bit in the second also.
Cool.
And also, yeah, it's basically the same. But this time around, the main character's inner monologue would be voiced by the character who's, narrating that part, whose viewpoint would be done. Right. And then it would still be split up between males and female characters like we're doing now. I still want to return to it. I wish that I had all the time in the world. I would love to do both projects at the same time.
That's a lot.
But that would be too much for me to do. And I doubt that I could ever, make a living off of this. So it's just whenever it comes out is basically how this is going to be.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. However much I would like to work on both projects or at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, if I could just eat ice cream and do episodes of Scooped Podcast all the time, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Which, shameless promotion, Scooped Podcast is our other project that we work on where we review ice cream shops along the East Coast. Follow for more.
Don't we have 60 episodes now or something like that?
Episode 59 came out as of the time we're recording this, and this comes out in what? A while still?
This comes out Saturday.
Oh.
This upcoming Saturday.
Then, yes, by that point there will be 60 episodes out.
Yeah, so there are 60 episodes where we review different ice cream establishments and frozen treats.
Yes.
So, if, there's plenty of content for that if you want to check any of that out. We put out one episode per week.
We have a lot of fun. We do a lot of cool projects, not just that podcast or the audiobook, but we like to get into our creative sides, and I think, it's been fun working on this.
Working on all these different projects.
And I look forward to continuing to do so.
Yep. I guess this is the part where we'll wrap up and, I guess veer off into the blooper section, because that's something that I'm doing at the end of this.
You made the blooper reel?
I didn't make it, but I know I have all the lines.
You have the stuff?
I have the stuff.
Oh my god, Paul, I thought you canceled it because you hated everything. Guys, you'll be able to find the ambiguous
I don't think I honestly.
Did you delete that because you were mad?
I was mad, honey. I was pissed. I was about to punch a wall. I don't think I have any of it.
That's okay. But yeah, so the blooper reel is gonna be exciting because there were some funny flubs.
Yeah. I saved it all this time. I just have to go back through the old audio recordings. I put all those clips into separate waveform timelines. So all I have to do is pull them out and then use them.
Awesome.
Yes. So after we're done talking about this project, the blooper reel will start. But other than that, before we get to that, if I'd just like to say, if anyone has any questions they want to ask, the comment section of this video is probably the best place to put it. Unless you're one of those cool people who are in the Spectread Studio Discord. So, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below.
See, that could go in the blooper reel.
And also, if you enjoyed this project and you want to throw a bone our way, we still have a Kofi. We have two Kofi, one for the Scoop podcast, and then one for the audiobooks. I'm not expecting much of anything, although I wasn't expecting anything for Boogiepop, and I got $15 from Spike the Bear, so that was pretty nice.
Woohoo!
So yeah, if you're interested in throwing a little money in our tip jar, we have the Kofi account, and I'll be leaving the link in the video itself. I guess that about wraps it up. Do you have last things you want to say about the project?
Thanks for listening, everybody. It's been a lot of fun, and I am pumped for Volume 2.
Yes, me too.
See you then.
I hope you all will enjoy it when it comes out. All right, here we go. Bye. Cue the bloopers. There's bound to be some amount of ambiguity. I'm gonna kill myself. I massaged her shoulders for a bit, then decided to borrow her sink, where I washed my face and changed my clothes. Hey, Tomo, I'm gonna go for a walk. Without looking up from her work.
I'm pretty sure I got to bed at 3 a.m. Some really bad stuff happened. Bad stuff happened yesterday. What on earth is going on this island?
I don't know. Do you mean escort personnel?
Well, don't they both guard you?
One of them is an automobile.
That's just genuine laughter. Having agency doesn't necessarily...
Apparently,
Quite starving, Kunigisa scarfed down the cheese appetizer.
How do you want me to...
I don't know, like... I don't know. Use your imagination.
I don't know.
I was thinking more along the line like... I don't know. Just...
Alright, I'll do and we'll see if you use it, okay?
Okay. It's not even like it's summer. Where are all these cars going?
Sunday drivers, I guess. I don't know.
There hasn't even been one fancy antique car going by.
Do you want me to do it again?
If you want. If you don't mind. After this guy. I was feeling pretty squeamish myself. But Yago's cooking was so good, I couldn't just let it go to waste.
Man, he is you.
Yeah, sure you do, Iichan. That was the comment I made. She spoke say again?
Unhesitatingly.
She spoke unhesitating...
Put your tits away. Unhesitatingly.
She spoke unhesitating... She spoke unhesitating...
Tating. It means the same thing, so it doesn't really matter, but it's just if you want to read the right word.
She spoke unhesitating... Why am I having so much trouble with this?
I don't know. I didn't do it. Certainly, I hate artists, but I don't think they're worth killing. They're already dead when they're alive. Bitch.
If I had only gone to the atelier instead of neglecting my duties. Damn it! I'm scum! I'm nothing but scum!
Hey, okay, go for the Oscar, Judy Dench.
What?
That was awesome.
Oh, thank you. And then Shinya extremely frustrated. There we go.
That was impressive.
Something about the painting was off. It maddeningly... Oh no, it's one of these, I think. Something about the painting was off. In a maddeningly? In a maddening... bit.
Okay. Maddeningly.
In a maddeningly way. Oh. In a maddeningly subtle way.
Nope.
Can't wait for all cars to be electric. Iria put her hands together.
Please, I'm
In that sense, Maki was, for me, the biggest mystery on this whole island. So much so that the mystery of a decapitated corpse and a room locked by a river of paint was all blotted out. Oh, damn. With a polite bow, she entered the... Bow?
polite.
Oh, what'd I say?
Polite?
What the fuck?
You'd be making up words over here.
Dear Lord, may your loving hand guide Homer to the mattress square and true.
I can't. Young man, it looks like Tarago did a real number on you. Oh my stars, that's what you get.
That was good, honey. That was really good.
Oh, fucking shit, that just tickled me. That just tickled my funny while I'm crying. Oh. Oh no! Oh, it's so stupid! Boing!
That is totally not how physics works.
No, it's not!
That was good, honey.
I don't think
that was really good.
Okay, please tell me I recorded.
Yeah, you did that perfectly. That's what they call method acting.
That's who you start.
All right. But that was the right call, I'd say.
It was a good direction. That's silly.
Iria complained.
The first person never entered the box, so it was off. No. You just took Ibuki's steaming pile of doo-doo for fact.
Doo-doo.
I'm sorry. I'm 12 years old. All right. Go ahead.
Car.
You made it through the doo-doo scene, and you did so much better than me.
It's stupid. That's why.
I know.
Laughs at it every time, and it gets me angry.
It's so dumb.